Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Alliance live show. This is live show number 23, and as you can see here, we're taking a look at some early footage of BB-8, courtesy of the EA Game Changers program. Thank you very much for allowing us to have some access to BB-8 footage to take a look at it here live. Now, I'm joined, as usual, by my co-host, good old Maurice, the Golden Chinchilla. What's going on, my friend?
Not much, man. Always a pleasure to be here with the Godfather of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm excited. Now, we're going to be getting a legendary event, it seems. I guess apparently BB-8's going to be... It's going to require First Order characters to get BB-8. Has that been announced?
What characters are needed, you said?
I said First Order?
Yes, it is First Order, yes, correct.
Yeah, so that's been announced, and First Order is, probably one of the factions that most people already have a little bit. I mean, if you've been playing for a while, First Order is probably, at least some of the First Order characters are the ones that you've gone for. Now, the only other thing about First Order is that, starting off, you're talking about, 5 characters exactly that are First Order, so you'd have to have all those 5 at 7-star to get a 7-star BB-8. Now, how's your First Order looking? Do you think you're going to be prepared?
Oh, yeah. I'm good to go on the First Order, but, I've been playing since about launch, and, that Stormtrooper and Pilot aren't easy to get. So, they put them in the fleet store, so that should help some people out. I'm pretty pumped. I should be ready to go, man. 2 11s, 2 10s, and a 9, gear-wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's take a look at BB-8's kit itself. Okay, so his basic attack is Arc Welder, and that's deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict tenacity down for 2 turns. If the target already had tenacity down, inflict daze for 2 turns. Okay, so basically his basic has an opportunity to inflict tenacity down, which is always great. That's a great debuff, and also a daze if the character already has tenacity down. So I think that, especially when he's called in to assist, I mean, this could be really helpful. Now, I know on the reverse side, when he actually attacks, I think other Resistance characters get called in to attack as well.
One other one, yes.
That's one of his uniques, but we'll get there. His first special attack is Covert Data Transfer, and that's a BB-8 and a random ally who doesn't have it gains Secret Intel unique buff for 3 turns. Then BB-8 gains 8% turn meter for each ally with Secret Intel. If all allies, or for all active allies or droids, BB-8 gains Taunt for 1 turn. Now, Secret Intel is a unique, it's a buff that gives plus 25% potency, and when another ally uses a special ability, they gain Secret Intel for 3 turns. Then the cooldown of Illuminated Destiny is reduced by 1 for each ally with Secret Intel. Now, this is pretty interesting because Illuminated Destiny actually starts off on a 70-turn cooldown. I think that's massive, and I'm not sure if you're going to be really able to ever use this ability in an arena match. I've seen the footage.
You would have to use droids, man. You'd have to use the droids. There's no way you can do it with Resistance.
I can't imagine the cooldown being reduced that much. Now, this is what we're talking about here, Illuminated Destiny, which is dispel all debuffs on all allies, expose all enemies for 2 turns, all allies gain 80% turn meter and gain advantage, critical chance up, critical damage up, speed up, offense up for 4 turns, droid and Resistance allies recover 20% protection. This ability starts on cooldown and can't be evaded. Whenever a droid ally scores a critical hit, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. So, now, it's pretty interesting because, again, it starts on such a high cooldown that I don't think it'll ever be a viable arena option, at least off the bat, unless you find a way to reduce that cooldown much quicker. But it's basically a jacked up version of Old Ben's unique ability. When Old Ben would die, he would basically give all these buffs to everybody. But it's that, and it also exposes the opponents, so that's pretty interesting too. His unique is Roll with the Punches, or one of his uniques is Roll with the Punches, and that's BB-8 has 80% counter chance. And when BB-8 attacks out of turn, he calls a random resistance ally to assist. So this is why, I remember in, I think, an Alt's video, he was suggesting that, you have a droid team with R2-D2, because you'll always call R2-D2 into assist whenever BB-8 counterattacks. So that's a pretty interesting way to look at it. Now, his second unique ability is Self-Preservation Protocol, and that's when BB-8 takes damage, he has a 50% chance to gain foresight for 2 turns at the start of each encounter. If BB-8 is active, droid allies gain 8% turn meter for each active droid ally. When BB-8 evades, droid allies recover 8% health and 8% protection. So it's some protection manipulation and some health manipulation for the droids. I think that he'll probably be best suited in a droid team, so I'm kind of looking at that. But I'm not sure if this really makes the droids great. I think you still need droid reworks for them to be a viable arena option. Now, I can see them still being, used in PvE content, or maybe in raids or something like that. Maybe he might work out great in an AAT raid or something like that. But I don't know about him being or making the droid team really viable in arena. What are your thoughts on
that? Well, he's a cool character, and I could really see some people making some really cool, like you said, like raid comps. It's just the resistance is fine as is. I don't think he really enhances the resistance team. I mean, you're right. He's better for the droids, but it's not quite enough. You know what I mean?
He enhances them. I think he'll make them a better squad. I still think, like I said, the droids overall are just needing a rework badly, and that's me straight up asking for it. Please rework General Grievous so I can use him again. Okay, but I mean, if they did that on top of this, then yes, I would say throwing R2-D2 and BB-8 into a droid squad would be good, because basically that bonus in speed that he gives to each droid, in turn meter that he gives to each droid at the start of an encounter, would replace Jawa Engineer. So you wouldn't need to have Jawa Engineer in the squad anymore, and the droids would still go first, or they'd still go really fast. So I think that's cool, because you could actually run a full 5 droids. I was also even tossing around the idea of still having Jawa Engineer there, having all the droids go first, and then after they're done, Jawa Engineer then throws Recalibrate up, and their turn meter, gets filled up again. Now, I don't know if that would actually work, or if they'd get a full second bar of turn meter to be able to go a second time like that. But I was just theory crafting it, and that was one of the things I was thinking about. Don't think it would work out the way I'm thinking in my head, but I'm definitely going to try it out a little bit and play around with it to see what I can do. I mean, otherwise, I mean, I don't really see it changing a lot right now. I definitely want BB-8 to be a cool legendary character. I mean, all the legendary characters that are out at this moment are pretty good, so I'd imagine that he'll have some viability somewhere, and if not, they'll do something to him or make some adjustments so that he is. But just on initial, my initial thoughts, I think it looks kind of like it's going to be a little difficult for him to really fit into the meta right now. But I just want to go over the recent notes. Now, additionally, we had this information about the event that's coming up. So this event for BB-8 is going to be called Pieces and Plans Legendary Event, and it's going to be First Order, and it starts on September 28th. It's a 7-tier event, and yeah, I mean, September 28th is, let's see, 6 days away, so that leaves you that amount of time to farm some of these characters. Now, I don't think it's going to be so hard to get up Kylo Ren, or most of the characters that are popular, like First Order TIE Fighter, if you haven't been farming him, that's going to be tough. First Order Stormtrooper, same thing. Those guys are hard farms. So there's double drops right now, which is the next part of the notes. Captain Phasma was the login character for the month. She's also available in the Galactic War store, so she's pretty easy to get up. You can also get your First Order officer up through the Cantina store, And then I believe Kylo Ren is in a Cantina node, or he's in a couple Cantina nodes actually. So he's one of the earlier nodes, so you'll be able to get him pretty fast. But the problem is this also throws off a lot of people's farming because you're farming Captain Han Solo right now. So there's no you're gonna have to make a decision whether it makes sense to to move from farming Captain Han Solo for territory battles on to moving to farming Kylo Ren out of the Cantina nodes. And if you're nowhere near it with, let's say, First Order Stormtrooper or First Order TIE Pilot, you're probably not going to make it in the next 6 days because that's a hard farm. So I would suggest these packs actually making some sense here. Now, how much are the packs again? I mean, how much is the First Order starter pack? Is it like $70 or $80?
I'll open the game. To be honest, man, like I said, I've got mine, so I wasn't really paying much attention. Give me just 1 second here. I'll look.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I didn't really pay much attention because I had the pack because I have all the characters, but
I will say, if you're free to play and there's absolutely zero chance you can get TIE Pilot or Stormtrooper to 5-star, just completely just keep the pace. Don't get sidetracked and farm Kylo and then I can't get him anyway because I'm not going to get my TIE Pilot, my First Order TIE Pilot up or Stormtrooper.
Especially since the character itself is not exactly it's not Commander Luke. This is not Grand Admiral Thrawn. These are not This is not a character that you're going to I think is a must-have. But at the same time, I do think he provides a lot of benefit. It just really depends on what you're on what you really need right now. Now the thing is that it's also important to note that like we said, the two characters that are hard to get are really hard to get. So I mean, there's only one node for First Order Stormtrooper, I think, and First Order TIE Fighter has 3 nodes, but they're just going to take a long time to acquire. So I don't know. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze at the moment if you're a free-to-play player that doesn't necessarily have these characters right now. But it's definitely something to think about for the future. So you obviously want to start the process of farming these characters going forward.
The pack gives you 80 shards of all 5 of the First Order characters, 6 Omegas, 3 million credits, 60 purple mats. I guess enough credits or enough equipment to get you to about gear 5 or 6 for $80.
Okay, $80. I mean, do you think a 5 or 6 star BB-8? Well, he's going to unlock at 5-star. All legendary characters unlock at 5-star, so you're going to have him at 5-star at least. But do you think a 5-star BB-8 is going to be usable?
This character has raid written all over him, and if you can't use them in the raid, you have to be 7 stars to use them in the raid. So I just don't. If you're not getting him at 7 stars, I wouldn't go all in. And if you're gonna get him at 5 stars, that's cool to unlock him, but he just doesn't strike me as an arena viable character. It's going to be totally PvE oriented,
Absolutely.
And like you said, like you touched on, I mean, he is, out of all the legendary characters we've had, this one is I'm the least excited about. I'm not even really that pumped about it. It's
listen, I'm pumped about it. I'm going to get him the 7-star, so I'm excited about it. But at the same time, it's like I'm just thinking to myself, he's not a meta character like these other characters. I mean, Commander Luke is instant dominant. If you don't have Commander Luke right now, you're missing out, right? I mean, but it's not having BB-8, you'll probably be quite all right. So I don't think it's going to be such a big deal. Now, the territory battles have returned again. They started yesterday on the 21st. We're in phase 2 right now. They've made some changes. So they increased the guild event token payout and the mystery box rewards at the end. So that's going to be an increase, I believe, of about for us, I think we're going to get an additional 1,200 currency or something like that. So that's pretty cool. And they are still remaining with the 24-hour phases. And there's going to be a 4-day cooldown between territory battles. So the next one will be 4 days after this one. What do you think about the 24-hour phases? Do you think they're going to change that pretty soon here?
Do you think they should? So. Part of me hopes not. I could see them doing it. I guess it depends, and there's been a lot of feedback about, a lot of negative feedback about the 12 hours. So, they've done a lot better job. The devs and the CG and EA, they've been doing a lot better about listening and communicating, and actually utilizing the player feedback. So hopefully it stays at 24. That seems to be the general consensus, what everybody wants. So
I don't think it needs to be at 12 hours. I mean, like, the 12 hours is cool because we'll get more territory battles done. Like, we'd actually be able to do, like, 2 a week. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I know there's going to be circumstances where people aren't going to be able to do their battles or aren't going to be able to contribute sometimes. And, it'll cost the whole team. And I think if they do it, like if they actually do roll out the 12-hour phases, then what'll happen is there'll be a tremendous amount of backlash on the forums about it. I think people will go nuts about it. But
well, there'll be a lot of shuffling around because 12-hour phases will almost require you to be in like a time zone oriented guild. Like everyone has to be all together, because you got 12, but like the phase 6, you got to get those platoons in right away, get all your battles in. You get 12, you have to be like an EST guild or like a Central European time guild. Everyone would have to lump up by not only galactic power but then time zones as well. That'd be real difficult to do.
Yeah, and I think that'll be the problem is that you have all these guilds that have now merged to be more competitive in TB, and then you're going to have some issues with coordination here because it's already not that easy when you get to phase 6 sometimes if you're right on the cusp of a star level to have to do that, and it's going to happen again. Like as we get closer to 44 stars, it'll be even more difficult because we'll have to sit there and really coordinate. It could be within a million points. If we lose a couple of battles, we'll make it. We won't make it if we misallocating our galactic power in one of the territories. We won't make it. So you're just going to have to be careful. And I'm sure it'll become routine at some point, and then 12 hours will make sense. But I don't know. I think there'll still be some backlash about it. Gear 11 and Gear 12 Salvage have been added to key events. And late game challenges will be added to key events and late game challenges in the future. In addition, they added new special missions to Phase 1 for Phoenix, Phase 2 for Rogue One, and they added an additional Rolo and Captain Han Solo event or battle in Phase 4, where you're required to have them at 5 stars. So we're actually going to be able to do that this week. On Phase 4. So I'm going to record that and put that out. I had started a guide for all the phases. I did a Phase 1 guide, but when I got word that they were going to be making changes to the territory battles, I decided to hold off on the rest of it, and I'm going to be restarting again with another Phase 1 guide and then just going through the updated territory battles here in the coming days. So that's why you haven't seen a Phase 2 guide yet. I got Phase 1 recorded yesterday, and I'm working on the video, so that'll be out shortly. But we have some fixes here to look at too. I believe the platoon missions they address the issue where duplicate units, and it's going to be more randomized, and they also are no longer going to require specific units that are required in special combat missions, in special missions or combat missions inside the same phase of the territory battle. So Phoenix Squad, Rogue One Squad, the Hoth characters, Hoth Rebel Soldier, Hoth Rebel Scout, Captain Han Solo, CLS, and Rolo will not be necessary for platoons anymore when they're a character that you're going to need later on. So that's pretty cool. Now, the Shard Shop saw some changes. It's no longer the Shard Shop now. It's the Gear Shop. So you're going to be getting more gear pieces there. They've added a wide variety of new gear, and the prices are actually pretty good. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's great. I like it a lot. I'm unsure if, lately they've been doing the character cadence where the characters go into the Shard Shop. Like Ahsoka was there, a week or two ago for about a week. Yeah. I'm unsure if they'll continue to do that. And, will the Ewoks be in there when it's their time? Will these smugglers be in there? Or are they just completely Are they completely gone with characters except Grievous?
I don't know. But I mean, Grievous isn't even exclusive to that anymore. You can get Grievous shards out of the fleet shipments now. So I mean, I don't even know why they're keeping that there. You know, because if I were farming Grievous, I would not be farming him out of the shard shop now. I'd be farming him out of the fleet store. If I wanted Grievous, that's where I'd be getting him. So I mean,
it's just there to haunt you guys that actually bought him out of there. You know what I mean? Like they took the plunge and got him the hard way, and it's just there to tease you now. It's just like, hey, remember me? Gotcha.
You know, fortunately, I got my use out of the character, so I mean, I'm okay with it. But I mean, yeah, it's he's gonna stay there probably until they release a new one, and then they'll add a new shard shop character, which will make you want to go crazy. I don't know if it'll be as cool as Grievous, but I mean, listen, I'll tell you right now, if the new shard shop character was like Darth Revan or something like that, and you could only get him out of the shard shop, I'd buy some chromium packs. That's the way they get me to buy chromium packs again, would be just that, you know. So they've added some new achievements for having a 7-star solo or 7-star raid Han Solo. You'll get 10 TIE advanced shards, and for having a 7-star General Kenobi, you'll also get 10 TIE advanced shards. I would have much rather 10 TIE Reaper shards, but I'll take it. Pieces and plans, you complete the pieces and plans event, and you'll get 50 crystals, 5 Vader shards, and 500k credits. Now Vader is also farmable out of the fleet shipments. Do you see that? Is that normal, or is that something new? Was he always available in the fleet shipments? I never.
He's been in there.
Okay.
He's in the same slot as Grievous.
Okay.
He's pretty rare. But he's in there.
I just saw him there the other day, and I was thinking to myself, like, I don't remember him being there before, but there we have nuts. Anyway, this is the bundle that Maurice was talking about, the First Order Ultimate Bundle, which gives you, shards for, Captain Phasma, Kylo Ren, also First Order Officer, Stormtrooper, and TIE Pilot, 3 million credits, 225 T4 training droids, and then a bunch of ability materials, as well as 6 Omegas. Then they have these individual First Order faction packs, which give you an opportunity to get a full 330 shards, although that's never going to happen. And you have a maximum of 10 purchases a day for that. So if you're really trying to get up your First Order, that's the way to go. But they fixed some bugs, and for all those out there that were interested, POW, they fixed an issue where POW's hand was slightly offset from his pistol. That is now fixed, so you're never going to have to worry about looking at POW's hand not lined up with his pistol again, for all those people that are just loving that POW character and using him all over the place.
I never even knew that was a thing. Like, I've never used POW. I had no idea that was such a big issue.
No, it's a big problem. A lot of people were concerned about that. Now, yeah, most of it is just basic. Like, I mean, they changed, Royal Guard's shadows, and they fixed an issue with enemy Ewok heroic battles. Just stuff that nobody really cares about. But they fixed some language stuff in other languages. They corrected the way certain abilities are read. Now this is kind of interesting. There's like an ominous message at the end. The recent ones have just been like ... but this one says, "A team rises from the ashes stronger as a familiar foe returns." What does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, if I Google it, though, I could probably find out. It seems to be the trend.
Just Google it and you'll find out? Yeah, maybe.
That's the way it's been, like Old Ben and Tarkin's rework. Remember how they hinted at that?
Yeah.
It's like a direct quote off his wiki page. It's like...
A team rises from the ashes stronger as a familiar foe returns. I wonder what that means. But I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Let's go into the meta report and just kind of talk about that. I'm sure it's not much different, other than the fact that Commander Luke Skywalker is just all over the place. So Commander Luke Skywalker is dominating the pie at almost, it looks like, I'd say 65%. General Kenobi right behind him with 620. Rex right behind him, and then right behind them, 4 through 10. I'm sorry. Yes, 4 through 10 are Grand Admiral Thrawn, Admiral Akbar, Qui-Gon Jinn, Wedge Antilles, Finn, Darth Maul, and Captain Phasma, rounding out at number 10. Have you seen Captain Phasma in Arena lately?
I have not seen any of that.
Who's running Captain Phasma? Who are these 6 people? Who are these 6 people running Captain Phasma at rank 1? What shard is Captain Phasma at rank 1? I want to be on that shard.
It's on a June 2017 shard.
It's on a September 2017 shard. Captain Phasma.
They just finished their Phasma through the dailies.
Just got their Phasma through the dailies. Yeah, but yeah, that's interesting. Let's see. All right.
Okay. Now a team that rises from the ashes as a familiar foe returns. That would be the general. The public opinion is the Phoenix, or the team that rises in Thrawn is coming back.
Okay.
That's what everyone's speculating on the forums and stuff. So.
Okay. So yeah, the Thrawn event returning. It's actually. Let me see here. Yeah, the Thrawn event returning would be pretty cool. I think everybody anybody who missed out on that, or anybody who has a 6-star Thrawn that wants to complete him, give him the 7 stars. It'd be definitely cool for him to come back. Now, moving on to the top 10 squad members at rank 1, we have still R2-D2 in the lead, ahead of Commander Luke Skywalker, followed by General Kenobi, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Raid Han Solo, Darth Nihilus, Barriss Offee, Base Malbus Chirrut Imwe, and Rex at rank 10. So Rex has fallen down. R2-D2, CLS, and General Kenobi are still on top. Grand Admiral Thrawn still hanging on there, but it looks like he's about to be surpassed by Han Solo. So I think on the next meta report, we'll be seeing Han Solo as the 4th most used character in the game. Thoughts on the rapid rise of Raid Han Solo and his rework?
Oh, he's going to keep going too. He does get, his problem is he's squishy. You take him to gear 12, especially if you put a couple of his pieces on him. He gets enough survivability to kind of get an extra round in arena. You can get an extra turn with him, and that could be the difference.
Oh, he just does
with that Zeta.
He just does so much damage.
Crazy damage. Yeah, just stupid damage with that Zeta.
He just does so much damage, and the ability to go twice in a row like that, it's devastating. Plus, at the start of the encounter, he stuns and he can ignore taunt now. I mean, pretty much all the things we were talking about before they actually did a rework, like we said when we were talking about like how they should rework Han, and he should be able to ignore taunt on his first ability. They did all that stuff, so it's cool. But yeah, I mean, interesting to see where the meta's at now. I'm kind of curious where it's going to go, because I'm hoping that as we get closer to The Last Jedi here, they're going to start to release some more Empire characters. I'm sure they're going to release some characters from the upcoming Battlefront game. So I'm sure we'll see the Inferno Squad and that girl from the Inferno Squad trailer. I'm sure she'll be in there. And then we'll probably see some version of, maybe General Hux, maybe even Old Man Luke, hopefully Lightsaber Rey. We'll see. But I think they're going to definitely release some new characters. Maybe they'll release another version of Phasma. Now that Phasma is a new weapon, I believe she has like this new staff that she's going to be using in the new movie. So a lot of cool stuff coming for sure. Now. What are your thoughts on the Inferno Squad? I mean, do you think that they'll actually put the Battlefront characters in the game?
I would bet a vault on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd bet a vault on it too. Yeah.
Game, they could cross-platform it. That I would 100% bank on that. Not 100%. Let's go 90% that they're coming to the game.
Yeah, I'd say at least that character, the girl. I think I forget her name is like Jen Verso or Jin maybe is her name Jin also? No, it can't be Jin.
Well, then they could just give them all. They could maybe pick a couple of the main characters, just give them generic Empire tags. Maybe that would work. That would be cool, actually. Then you could use all your existing Empire characters all together. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, her name. Let's see here. Let's see. Inferno Squad.
Insane in the chat actually makes a good point. If indeed Thrawn is coming back next month, we might see him climb a little bit or go neck and neck with Han for a while. So more people get Thrawn.
Her name is Iden. Her name is Iden Versio. Iden Versio. Okay.
And that's the actress that was at the EA Play and stuff.
Yeah, she was there. She was on the stage. She came out with like a whole bunch of stormtroopers, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me about the Battlefront game is that there's actually going to be a canon version of the story there, where it kind of covers what's going on with Luke Skywalker after Return of the Jedi. So I'm kind of curious what direction they're going to go in with that, because it's literally going to pick up right after Return of the Jedi, on Endor, I believe, like after the Death Star has been destroyed, and then it's going to go all the way to the Force Awakens. So we'll actually see, what happens between, Episode 6 and Episode 7. I've already seen some clips where Luke's in there, so I'm wondering, how they're going to do that. I mean, I'm wondering what the story is going to be. If it is a canon story, I'm hoping that they make or they reveal some stuff in the game that's exclusive to the game. That'd be pretty cool. But we'll see. I just got destroyed. I'm facing a 5-character Gear 12 team here. My last node, or my second to last node. Let's see. Let's go with the Rogue One squad. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Do you think Supreme Leader Snoke's coming out? When this movie drops.
Oh, he's the big one. I would think he would be some sort of legendary event maybe in the future.
He's a very.
I don't know.
I mean, he's basically the equivalent of the Emperor for the new saga, right? So I mean, I would imagine, he's going to have to get some sort of special treatment, right?
Well, yeah, they're starting to run out of carrots to dangle in front of us. You know what I mean? Like they need another big one, and I think he would be a good candidate.
For sure. I think Lightsaber Rey will be a legendary character. I don't think she's going to come out with the movie. Like, I don't think we'll just get her. I think you'll have to... Lightsaber Rey is going to be one of those characters that I think is going to be harder to get.
Oh, definitely. And I could see this BB-8 character being required to get a Lightsaber Rey. Or something like something... I could see this BB-8 character being part of a future legendary event, much like, R2 was. So...
Sure.
We'll see. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so this team has now destroyed my my Rogue One squad too. I have a feeling like I'm going to get stuck here on node 11 of my Galactic War and not be able to beat it. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen here.
Retreat throwing a Suicide Squad, man, like back in the day.
Yeah, right. Suicide Squad.
You do, man. You got to start loading up your team with turn meter. Like use your resistance in the first battle, your clones in the second. You get all your teams, all the turn meter amped up, so you can. I mean, some of these. I mean, my nodes are getting tough. This node is real tough for you. I mean, it's starting to get real. These Galactic Wars again. See, it's. It's been kind of a breeze for me personally the last few months. I had a broken 12 and 11, but now my 9 and my 11 is just brutal.
Yeah, I think it's getting harder for sure. So yeah, you definitely gotta.
Throw in your Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not throwing in my Phoenix. That's just basically a Suicide Squad. But
Well, if you do win, it's going to take you 45 minutes.
yeah, yeah. If I do win, it's gonna take. Yeah, we'll be here all night for sure. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna make it this time, but I'm gonna try with this squad. I should probably just play it instead of trying to trying to like auto the battle. But oh, okay. So we took out Kenobi, so that should help us out here. Gonna try to work on Commander Luke. My Han Solo is almost gone, so well, that's probably gonna do it for him. Oh, come on, Ahsoka.
Or things in the chat. What would you think about a lightsaber ray as like another hero's journey, like we got like Luke?
That'd be great. Do I think it'll happen?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I think there's a strong possibility of that. I think she's going to be, again, she's going to be an event character. I think if Supreme Leader Snoke drops, he'll be an event character eventually, too. They don't have to drop any of these characters now. I mean, even Commander Luke. I mean, it depends if they're going to die in the Last Jedi movie. Like if Commander Luke dies or something. I mean, Old Man Luke dies. I mean, it would be probably best to release him for this movie. I do think we will get Luke in the for this movie. I think we'll get the Old Man Luke. I think that'll be the main character that comes out of this movie. But it just it makes sense with the movie being titled The Last Jedi and that really kind of referring to Luke himself. I think it would make sense that he would be the character that we get. But I don't think we're going to get Commander Luke, or sorry, not Commander Luke. I keep calling him Commander Luke. I don't think we're going to get Old Man Luke, Lightsaber Ray, and Supreme Leader Snoke all at the same time. There's no way that's going to happen. So they'll release one of them, and then down the road, maybe as we get closer to Episode 9 itself, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, that's when they'll actually release, or maybe sometime later next year, or, as we get closer to Episode 9, I think is when we'll see Supreme Leader Snoke. So because he's going to be a big time character. Plus, we don't really know what the deal is with him. He's a character that's very much clouded in mystery. You don't really know whether he's a Force user or not. You don't know if he uses a lightsaber or not. You don't know if he's a Sith or not. I mean, all indications point to him being something different, but there's definitely a possibility that he has some sort of Sith origin. It wouldn't make sense for him not to have something like that. But he could also just be a brand new character that we've never heard of before and has never been seen by the galaxy before. But all the signs kind of point to him being somebody either from the past or somebody that is either somebody who's come from some sort of a force wielding faction. So either he's a Sith, a Jedi, or he's going to be some other cosmic entity that has force ability, because maybe he believes in some sort of balance, kind of like the Jedi are turning gray, maybe the Sith are turning kind of gray too, where they kind of want both to be both light and dark side. I don't know. There's a lot to see, but I mean, obviously Luke Skywalker is going to be a gray Jedi, I think, in this movie. I mean, isn't his line in the trailer that the Jedi have to end or something like that?
I'm sorry. What I was trying to get some questions. I'm sorry.
I said, isn't his line
I think so, yes,
in the trailer that the Jedi must end? So
yeah,
I think we're going to see. I think he's going to find out that the Jedi in the past weren't necessarily all about just using the light side of the Force. I think there was a balance, and they used to use both. So we'll have to see. I do think that obviously Leia cannot make it into Episode 9 because unfortunately Carrie Fisher passed away. So I think that she's not going to make it through this movie. I don't know how they're going to do that either, though. I think that I don't know if she was already going to pass away before the movie was over, or that was already part of the plan. But I think if not, and she was planning to make it to Episode 9, they will find some way to write her out of the story, which can be interesting. They've already said they're not going to use like some sort of a computer generated version of her or anything like that, and that she's not going to be in the film. So I don't know. I'm wondering how they handle that, but either way, disappointing to see that she's not going to she's not going to make it to Episode 9. But I don't know. We have any questions lined up?
Not too many. Yeah, I kind of touched on a few of them as we went here.
Yeah, guys, if you have any questions you'd like asked on the stream here, before we sign off, just ask them in the chat now, and Maurice and I will get to them.
I did get an interesting one in my messages. Let me see if I can find it. Ottoman, one of our, I believe he's in Alliance Epsilon. He just wanted us to touch on the new shard shop, and also regarding the removal of gear from the fleet store. Like, what are our thoughts on them removing gear from the fleet store and removing the characters and adding that gear to the, I guess it's the gear shop now?
Well, my thoughts are that I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, now I don't really need any shards from the shard shop anymore, so for me it works out. For some people that are still trying to farm characters, I can understand it being kind of disappointing. But for me, getting cheaper gear is way better. I'm getting some piece. I think there's you can get 6 Carbantes or 8 Carbantes for like what, 200 currency in the shard shop.
Yeah,
that's great.
I think it's even less than that, isn't it? I think it's like 180 something, 160 something.
That's great.
I've only caught it maybe 5. Yeah, it's great, but
that's great. And
I guess for the newer player, it's not very helpful. I guess for a brand newer player, but I guess the shards in there, getting 2-3 shards of a character for 300 shard shop currency isn't really helpful either. So this is definitely the better alternative. I'll tip my hat to this. I like this. But removing the gear from the fleet store, I think, is what's got people, the newer free-to-play players a little upset, because sure, you want to buy your Zetas and your ships out of there, but you got to get the characters geared first before you can put Zetas on them anyway, So I think them removing the gear from the fleet store kind of hurts a newer free-to-play type player.
They've even put they even put like newer gear into the shard shop, like gear 12 gear. But
shard shop is and always will be, always has been like an in-game area. You're not going to be a new player in there just going crazy and buying a bunch of, unless you buy just tons of chromiums.
Right.
You're not going to have shard shop currency and well until you're well into the game. So I think I don't know. I didn't like this. I didn't personally buy any of the gear out of the fleet store, but man, it was kind of shocking they took it out, because that's helpful to a large percent of the player base.
I would only buy like a couple pieces out of there if I really needed it, just to finish a piece. Like if I needed like 4 more to finish a piece, or like 5 more to finish a piece, I would get it out of there. Rarely, only if it's a hard to get piece, like something that I know it's going to probably cost me a couple hundred crystals to get 5 pieces. For the most part, I would stay away from the fleet store, because I think that you're still, I feel like it's even better, because actually just now I don't even have the option to buy the gear there anymore, so I can just use that currency for Zetas. That's really what you need there, unless you're building up your ship or your fleet. Then I would say, you want to just get the ship shards out of there, but I don't think that the return was necessarily great there. So I think
not at all.
Much like the guild store, like if you go to the guild store, for example, here we'll just take a look. The guild store, the currency exchange for gear is horrible. 2 MK5 droid caller salvage for 660 pieces from the guild store. I mean, that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's 2 pieces. It would take you forever to get that. I liked it better when they at least had, like, 25 pieces for, like, whatever, a couple thousand. I'd rather that than have to slowly just farm 2 pieces a day. And the return is just terrible. I mean, you're getting an MK2 back to gel full piece for 1,200. That's okay. But besides that, I mean, all these raid pieces, like the MK6 thermal detonators, 800 currency for 2 pieces. I mean, you need to make 25 purchases of 800. So, what's 25 times 800? Let me just see here real quick. I'll do the math for us here just to get us an idea what that is. Where's the calculator?
I actually like those little 1,200, like on your screen here. You've got that back to Joe pulled up. I like those. Now that Luke Flash event gave me, I don't know, 8 million of the MK3 comlinks, but the rest of them I buy. I run out of the blast tech sometimes and the gels there, so that's actually a good deal because you get 20 of the purple pieces, 1,200. That's a pretty good deal.
It's not bad.
Here and there is awful.
Yeah, it's not bad, but let's see, 800 times 25. Okay, so you'd need 20,000 currency to get a full MK6 piece out of there. That's crazy. That's crazy. 20,000. Just to get.
You're better off just like using that currency to buy duplicate shards, converting it to shard shop currency.
Exactly. I mean, the shards here are way more valuable. I mean, 400 pieces for 5 shards. I mean, the characters are always going to be the better buy there. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, still, just interesting to look at. But I mean, the cost there is just horrible. So I mean, the gear in the fleet store was bad. That's bad. And I mean, the short shop prices for gear were pretty bad too. When you had the full pieces there for like 6,000, that was pretty expensive. So I mean, I think this is a huge change that's actually going to help out a lot more than it's going to hurt. I mean, being able to buy. I mean, look here. Well, MK4 Carbantes I don't need, but being able to buy these like 6 Blast Tech weapon mods here. Like, I don't have any of these pieces here. I have 15, and I'll be able to buy 6. I can get a full piece now for 170 currency. I'm actually going to do that right now, and it makes sense. It's a good purchase. That's a good deal. Now, if they do drop some characters in here, that'll be what I go for. So I mean, obviously I'd go for like Smuggler Han and Chewbacca. I don't know how much I'm going to go after the Ewoks. Whenever they drop, I'll probably just farm them wherever they get dropped. But Smuggler Han and Smuggler Chewie definitely are characters that I want.
But we need those Ewoks, man, for the platoons and the TB, and also that ATST event they brought out. That's coming back at some point, where you're going to need a 5th Ewok there. I would have finished an Ewok, reluctantly finished one Ewok, just to have it for both the platoon and that ATST.
The territory battle store, the territory battle store also has good pricing. I'll tell you that. I think. I mean, as far as like gear in here, you can get 8 pieces of the MK4 hollow projector salvage for 648. You can get 6 of the MK9. Well, that's not the pieces that you want. But you can get 7 of the MK7 shield generator salvage for 6 of the MK7 shield generator salvage for 396 pieces. That's pretty good. That's still a relatively new piece, and for 396 you get 6 of them. The exchange here is much better. But then it's like this weird too, like MK4 droid caller salvage is 440, and that I have like thousands of. I would never buy that, so it doesn't make any sense. But that's just the way it is. And then you have some ships here. You can get 3 shards. I don't know why they elected to go with 3 shards, but that's the way they went. And You know, you can get the Cassian's U-Wing out of here. Whenever I see it, I pick it up, but it's very rare in here. So just keep an eye out for that.
That's actually the only thing I've bought at all from that store is that U-Wing. That's it.
I'm buying Yoda, man. I'm at.
And I will. I mean, I might as well just hold it. I could just spend all my currency that I save up for a month on Yoda in what, 12 hours? Just buy all the Yoda.
Pretty much.
I don't want to spend it all and then make some either slight or drastic change to the prices, add some new stuff. I don't want, I kind of want to sit pat for at least a couple more weeks.
They change the prices on Yoda, make it cheaper. I'm going to go ahead and request more currency.
Well, that's why I don't. It's still a relatively new game mode, and I mean they've tweaked the raids, and they tweak stuff to make it better, and it's not killing me. It's tempting though to buy some of those gold pieces, man. You look at these pieces, they got like 6,200 health on them, 100 and something damage added, just crazy pieces at Gear 12. It's tempting, but until I can't win an arena anymore, I don't see much need to go crazy at it.
Much merit, right? All right, so we're gonna 7-star my my CHS here, my Captain Han Solo, live on the stream. Let's get him done. Yep, 7-star Captain Han Solo. So that's done. I can start farming, mods again, or I can go back to Gar Saxon, which is probably what I'm going to do. But glad to have him at 7-star and be done with that. That was a pretty quick farm, to be honest with you. He dropped very well at first. I mean, I was able to sometimes get, 10 shards in, a single set of refreshes, which is pretty good. And there he is now. But, yeah, so that's done. Now I got to work on my Rolo because with the Phase 4 battle now that we're going to have, we're going to get her to 5-star the day before that. We're going to get her to 5-star tomorrow, and then after that, I'll probably want to have her at least. Right now she's Gear 7. I'll probably want to have her at least Gear 8, Gear 9, probably Gear 9 to get the battle done, just to be safe because she's only a 4-star. So, but she'll be required. So, and that'll get us some extra currency, I think, right?
Yes, they're giving you tons of currency now. They're just giving it to you.
There's going to be tons of currency, tons of Hermit Yoda shards. Where am I with Hermit Yoda now? I think I'm at, let's see, 40 of 145. So, yeah, I need 105 more shards to unlock Hermit Yoda. That's pretty cool. So, basically...
Do you have any... Okay, when you get X amount of stars, they keep giving you these achievements for Hermit Yodas. Do you know how many Hermit Yoda shards you can get from the achievements?
I don't know.
Like total? I mean, I have no idea.
I mean, it's not many. You're getting like 2 per achievement, right? So it's like, it'd be cool if like one of the achievements was like 10 Hermit Yoda shards. But, the next one we'll get will be, let's see here.
Because I'd hate to go nuts and take him to 7-star and then realize that, I could have had 40, they could do 40 shards. I'm just like, oh.
For getting to 100 total stars in territory battles, you'll get 2 Hermit Yoda shards there as well. So I won't get to see what happens after that until we get 100 stars, which will happen in the next TB. So we'll get 100 stars coming here in the next couple of days. So we'll get another 2 Hermit Yoda shards. You get some crystals and some currency. But, maybe the next, level 5 will be, 4 Hermit Yoda shards. That'll be cool, but we'll see. I don't know how far it goes. Maybe it goes to, maybe it only goes to level 4. We'll see. 100 stars seems about right. But, I mean, they'll probably have one for 500 stars and then one for 1,000 stars. And
1,000 stars. Oh, my God.
Well, it's not that far. It's not that far away. It's not that far. I mean, listen, it sounds like a lot, but I mean, we're already at 100, and we've only done 2 territory battles. So I mean, you figure 2 months from now we'll be at 1,000. Maybe 3 months from now. So it's not that far out of reach, especially if they decrease the time in the phases and they make it 12 hours. Then we'll be doing more territory battles more frequently. So that'll change things up too. But next question.
All right, next question. This one actually Prinny asked good old Maurice, any special project you're working on, if you don't mind answering. Kind of. I was trying to preemptively make a Lobot lead team with BB-8, and then I realized any team I make with Lobot lead is worthless because I'll have to put Lobot in the platoon. You know, so that shut that down real quick. Nothing special. Pretty much using all the meta characters and just falling asleep out of boredom in arena every day.
That's funny.
Next question from K. Giroux, Syndicate, alliance mate of ours. For TB, is it safe to leave teams at G10 before moving on to another, since gearing from 10 to 11 is a pain? I guess he's asking if he gets his teams to gear 10, should he stop and move to the next one and get them ready to gear 10?
Once he gets his teams to gear 10, should he stop and move on to the next one?
Yeah, his next team. I guess he wants to get a full team. Like, if he takes a whole team, like the Phoenix, up to gear 10, should he take them all the way to gear 11 or stop and work on another team for TB? Get that team to gear 10 and repeat.
I would say get him to gear 11. You don't want to stop at gear 10. I mean, if you're just talking about the factions, yeah, I guess so. I mean, like with the Phoenix, I mean, you don't have to get them to gear 11. Yeah, if it's just Rogue One and Phoenix, yeah, I'd say go for gear 10. But if you're talking about other things, then yeah, I would suggest just if you're talking about characters that you're going to use in like arena or something like that, then yeah, of course you want to get them to gear 11 because that's where you're going to get the most value out of them. But if it's just for territory battles and you literally have no other use for them, then yeah, I'd say that your gear 10 should be sufficient in most cases. I'm actually fighting a gear 12 Captain Han Solo right now.
Why?
And I don't know.
For the Rogue One, that Phase 6 Rogue One, unless you just have absolutely top shelf mods, unfortunately those Rogue One characters are probably going to need to be gear 11. That's a pretty tough battle. Or at least it is for me. Like, my guys are all, gear 11, and I still came up short last week out of 6. So, the Phoenix horrible... Definitely 10 is plenty. 10 is plenty for the Phoenix. You don't need them any higher than that.
What a horrible investment. Why gear 12 your Captain Han Solo? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Unless you just gear 12 into everybody. I mean, I don't know. I just saw him in arena, and I was like, Captain Han Solo in arena? Really? Yes, I'll fight this guy. You
didn't pay any attention to him. You just left him for last.
I just literally left him for last. I mean, the only thing he did that sucked was he revived Commander Luke after I killed him because he has that revive. But other than that, I mean, damage wise, he's an afterthought. So. I don't know. I mean, again, he's a cool character. I don't see any merit to him in arena right now. That's for sure.
Definitely not.
Any more questions?
Yeah, we got a couple more here. This is a arena question, I suppose. Here.
Okay.
Kuzma the Legend. I'm currently running GK Lead, Xeris, CLS, Nihilus, and R2. I'm thinking of switching to CLS Lead. Han, Zolo, Thrawn. Let me see. Okay. Should he run GK, Xeris, CLS, Nihilus, R2? Or should he run CLS Lead with a Zeta Han, Thrawn, GK, and R2?
I'd say the CLS Lead.
Yeah. I think so too. Unless you're really going all in and putting these gear 12 pieces on, like GK, Xeris, CLS, to that first team you mentioned, I think you're going to be better with the second team. But these Barrises, man, I'm telling you, they're going to be a pain once people start putting on these health pieces. Because I was facing a team today in Kenobi. When you crit him, he was healing for over 10,000 health. Like, that's insane. With a GK lead, he gets all that defense. I mean, it's really tough to crit him higher than 10,000 when he's got all this stacking defense on him. It's going to be Xeris is going to be a major problem. Like, if you guys don't have Nihilus geared up, you should go ahead and start because he's going to be almost mandatory. It's gonna be
Darth Nihilus or Zaris.
Mm-hmm. No, well, both. I mean, but Nihilus is going to be the obvious counter to this Zaris meta that's going to be here before we know it. And it's going to be
Darth Nihilus also has a pretty significant increase in health and protection going to Gear 12 also.
Yeah, I mean, GK is healing for 10k. That's on a crit. That's nasty. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, I would say run with the second one, man. But be glad you do have Zaris for down the road, because that's going to be a real strong team as well. You're in good shape as far as arena.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thane Krell asks, would it be a good investment to take the Resistance to Gear 12?
I'd say yes. You can use them in a lot of areas of the game. I mean, you know, Resistance is great in the AAT raid. Resistance is great in territory battles, and Resistance will be back in arena again sooner rather than later. I mean, I know you're not really running a Resistance squad anymore, but I think for the most part, coming up, again, to this Last Jedi movie, there's going to be some more Resistance characters in the game. So besides BB-8, we're going to be looking at some other people. I'm not sure who, but you'll definitely see some new Resistance characters. Maybe even maybe who knows? Maybe the old man Luke will be classified as also part of the Resistance, even though he's a Jedi. Or maybe maybe we'll get Commander Organa, or maybe we'll get the older version of Princess Leia at some point, and then she'll be Resistance also. I don't know what other Resistance characters they can really put in, but I'm sure we'll get some more characters as we get closer to the movie. They're not just going to release only Empire characters.
Well, doing the entire faction is a huge investment. I would definitely, if you have your arena team set, I would definitely recommend Poe. I put Gear 12 on my Poe, and just a small amount of protection and health he gets. I mean, it gets you to Enrage, P2, and you really don't need to do the whole team for the PvE content, because Gear 11, even Gear 10 Resistance can get you all the way through the little bottom missions on the territory battles, the non-rebel required ones. Like, you just use Resistance all the way for all 6 phases, and you're good to go. Add Gear 10, add Gear 11. But Poe and Poe's ship, if you Gear 12 Poe, you bring him off the bench, he can pretty much one-shot a TIE fighter pilot out of the game altogether. So that's an all-around real good investment is Poe.
Sure.
Definitely do Poe.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
That's about it for the questions. Let me take a look here on the last little scroll through. The Resistance question was the last one we had.
All right.
So,
well, we're gonna bring the stream to a close here, guys. I appreciate everybody coming and staying with us here through the late night Friday stream. We'll be back again next week.
Yeah, me.
yeah, me too. Just wanted to get that that BB-8 footage in the beginning of the stream, and I was having some problems downloading it, so sorry about that, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back next week on Saturday night, so definitely look forward to that, and I should be able to get some more BB-8 footage, pretty soon as well. So as soon as that is capable for me, as soon as they give me the green light on that, I'll be doing a BB-8 video, probably with the droid team, to kind of show you what that looks like. And if you guys want to check out the Alliance, or come join us at the Alliance, go over to www.thealliancegaming.com. You can come there just to chat with us too. If you don't want to join our guild, you're more than welcome to just come by and come chit chat. On top of that, you can find out tons of great content on the website. There's lots of links to other contributors from the community there. And if you guys want to check out any other videos that we have here, this is now our 23rd live stream. We have 22 other live streams to check out in the past. I'm going to try to see what I can do about breaking up some of the live streams going forward. Maybe just put some segments together in videos and drop them. So for some of you that don't necessarily have the time to watch a full hour stream, you may be able to watch it in nuggets, throughout the day, and that might be easier. So if you miss the stream, you can just kind of check out the parts that interest you most. And also, like I said, you can look forward to the rest of the territory battles guides that I'll be posting over the next few days, as well as a look into some of these other characters like BB-8, Hermit Yoda. I have some access to these characters now, so I'll be making some videos about those characters as well. But again, thanks for checking us out on the late night stream tonight. Thanks for sticking around with us the rest of the show, and I appreciate all you guys here. We'll be in Discord for a little bit after this. We're pretty tired, so we're probably going to go to bed soon, but we'll be in there for a few minutes. And I appreciate you guys sticking around. So as always, we'll see you guys on the next one, and may the force be with you guys. Thanks.